The Potomac's just can't lose, and the Syndicate just cannot win. It's week 7 in the All-Star Baseball Classic. Let's talk ball.
We're talking baseball, and today's was the butter. We're talking baseball, and today's was the butter.
Hey, I'm Sean McCauley, and this is week 7 in the books. Let's jump straight into it this week. Our Monday game, Warlords at Runners at Motor Yard. Hey, I just want to very quickly mention, how have the Renaissance Runners scored this incredible set of fixtures? They're playing Monday night weeks all season. Monday night games all season. It's crazy. Whoever's sorted the fixtures for this season, I don't know, man. Maybe you're a Runners fan. But they've got the best schedule, and they're still not doing that well, okay? But let's get into it, all right? At Motor Yard, okay, Runners at home. This is going to be a tough game, okay? 2 teams here coming off tight wins. The Runners playing really, really good ball right now. Some great hitters on the Warlords that the Runners will be looking to silence. Urbino has some good speed in his legs, but he can't make enough of it early. Vecchilio making it difficult for Perron. He handles his 4-seam really, really well, and he's happy to wait for it. A lot of patience from the Runners in this game. It was really good to see. They came out with a strong game plan, and they stuck to it in those early innings. The turns in the outfield for the Runners are making it difficult and allowing the Warlords to advance runners a little bit further than they would like. The Runners need to figure out how to recover from some of those deep balls. In the second, they could have easily prevented a run just coming in by being a bit quicker on the feet. Turn a little bit quicker, guys. Yeah, work on that. Work on it on the practice field. Come on. This is the All-Star Baseball Classic. Some of that confidence definitely slips when Adolf gets a home run in the third. Quick hands from Da Vinci saves them from Tojo getting on base. The Runners weren't letting much go, but the Warlords were making the most of the little opportunities they could get. So Perron, he's having a good game on the mound. Urbino, Botticelli, they can't get anything going in the third. It's up to Caravaggio in the fourth. Sends one over the wall. 448-foot homer. Caught Perron slacking. The Runners definitely needed that to keep their confidence up. And with DiBondone getting the Warlords to swing at some dodgy pitches, they're in a really good spot here. Okay, Ike takes over in the fifth. Holds Adolf and Tojo to singles with 2 outs on and the bases loaded. He handles the pressure perfectly, gets Salazar to check his swing on a nice curveball, gets him out too. What the Runners are doing well in this game was keeping the problem players in check. Antonescu struggled, Trio couldn't get a hit, Dolphus is finding it hard to get any momentum. A really impressive showing from the Runners in this one. Great defensive play. Not as strong on offense. They're only getting 3 hits by the time Videla comes in the 7th. It didn't help them as much as I thought it might either. Videla, he's been inconsistent, but he came out to play today. The Runners turn to El Greco in the 8th. His curveball is unhittable. Okay, I mentioned it last week. It's pretty obvious. You see it coming, doesn't matter. You still can't hit it. So who cares? It was great. I'm surprised it's taken this long to see him get innings. But now we know what he can do. I think we're going to see him almost every game. Okay, unless DiBondone is having the absolute game of his life and is pitching a no-hitter, right? Like, El Greco's coming in at the end of these games. He's coming in to close these games. He's awesome. As the game goes on, the Runners, they start to find a really nice groove. They start getting some good hits. They're showing really good discipline at the plate. And in the end, it gets them the win with a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th on 2 outs. This is a whole new team from what we've seen so far this season. They're beating the Warlords, who've looked so good as of late. They kept them in check the whole game. They kept themselves in it. A lot of fun to watch this team right now. They win it 3-2. Excellent game from the Runners there. On to Tuesday, Compass Crushers at the Spark Syndicate at Battery Bay. So the Syndicate getting another home game here. Can they build any momentum? Well, the Crushers, they're on a 3-win streak. They're coming up against a team who slid down the rankings consistently. We see Franklin come in as starter. Kepler's on the bench. He's not injured. He's in the bullpen. He's on the bench. He's a reliever today. Finally. We've been waiting weeks for this. Franklin's actually shown some really good ball. I really like this change, okay? Kepler's had his chance and more, and it's just not working out. Franklin has been really good as a reliever. Seeing her get this chance to start, I think she can handle it. But it's a big ask against this team. But you know what? Hopefully, if she does struggle in this game, there's an understanding of how hard this ask is. Okay? Straight away, DeGama, the absolute star that he is, gets a home run on the first at-bat of the game. It's not the start Franklin would have been hoping for. Like I said, cut her a bit of slack. This is a big ask, asking her to come in as a starter. And then she's coming up against DeGama. Like, cut her some slack. Much better in the second, though. She really takes some control. She shuts the Crushers down. And you can see after that first strikeout, she wasn't hiding how happy she was. That was such an important play for her and the Syndicate. They take the run back in the second through some solid plays. And suddenly, they're back in this one. She ends up having a really great game, and I think it was such a good decision to put her in. I'm really glad that they trusted her, but then Kepler comes in as relief in the fifth, immediately lets up a run. Like, you've taken him out for a reason. Go to Faraday, go to Sagan. Why is Kepler coming in to undo the good work that Franklin's achieved? He's fortunate that his outfield are actually playing really well in this game. They save him from letting up another. But I just don't understand the decision to keep going back to Kepler. Polo's having a tough game here too. He came out at the start of the season so strong, so capable, but since week 2, he's just been on a slippery slope. He's doing enough right now, and they'll probably keep him as the starter. It's probably the right decision. It's a really strong team, so I do believe they'll come good, and I have to believe that there's a process here that Polo's going to come good, okay? Let's jump ahead to the 7th. DeGama, unstoppable. Another home run for him. That's 4 this season. He is so good for this team. If he can stay fit and stay in form, he's going to drag the rest of this team up. Hudson comes in for Polo here. Puts on a really solid performance as always. But Edison's here to challenge that with a 399-foot home run to tie up the game in the 8th. How are the Spark Syndicate doing this? What's going on here? Okay. Doesn't matter. DeGama gets another home run in the 9th. A 2-run homer. He is on fire. The Syndicate just had no answer for him today. So much power. He can hit anything that they throw at him. He's a crazy, crazy player. Faraday comes in the 9th to see it out. Does a really solid job. Nothing against Faraday here. I think he should have been in the game a little bit earlier. But, it's not enough. The Crushers win this 5-3, so it's a tighter game than we expected. But, Crushers still win it as we expected. Reds at Vanguards, then at Whacker's Wheel. So the Vanguards, they come out really, really strong in this game. Anthony looked really settled, was throwing hard pitches right from the first. On offense, they come out swinging, and it's probably a little bit too aggressive. They can't make much of the first, but it looked to me as if they wanted to put on a show and say to the Reds, we ain't scared of you. We'll outpower you and outplay you in every area of this park. Because this is our park. You're on our turf. Yeah, we know you're a big hitting team. It doesn't matter. The Reds just didn't look intimidated by it, though. They came out the same way they always do. Get 1 or 2 runners on base, go for power. Marks' fastball's a little slower than usual, but you know what? It's still really effective. In the 4th inning, we get our first run, and it's Castro. Okay? He's been showing up in the last 2 weeks with another unexpected home run. I wonder if he's being underestimated lately or if he's just been putting a lot of work in. Whatever it is, the Reds have to like it and hope that he just keeps on doing it. But in the very next inning, Malcolm X returns the favor with a 2-run homer to take the Vanguards into the lead. He's had a quieter season than expected, but he does make big plays when he needs to. Kind of like Castro, he's probably a little bit undervalued right now. We haven't seen the best that he has to offer. Luxembourg, she's such a workhorse for this Reds team. Hitting 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Just a great team player with great potential. Followed up by Stalin in the 7th, who gets a home run of his own today. Min gets a 448 home run too. Anthony really started to unravel here in the 7th. So the manager walks out to the mound to end her day. Truth comes in. A reliever who's not having the best time at the moment. Kind of gets a little bit worse than this one. Castro gets a 3-run homer to finish a 5-run inning for the Reds. It's a little bit of a disaster at this point. The Reds feel safe here to bring in King, another struggling reliever, but maybe hoping she can get some outs. A little bit more game time without the pressure. The Reds really seem to back her as a reliever, even though when we look at the stats, she's having a tough time out there, right? She's got a minus 1.91 efficiency rating, okay? It's not good. Truth walks Ilsong and Luxembourg in the 8th. That sees her day ended. Marshall comes in for her under some pressure, here to control the game, allow the Vanguards to get back in it. And you know what? He does exactly what he needs to and sets up the Vanguards for a good bottom 8th. They make absolutely nothing of it, though. Marshall sets them up, and they just do nothing. And in the 9th, the Reds extend their lead a little bit more. Lewis gets some game time for the Vanguards. He strikes out Luxembourg, but allows Stalin an RBI single. A miscue with the catcher lets the Reds steal home. Make the lead 8 runs. Malcolm X comes out, gets his 2nd home run of the game. Well done to him. But Tubman just couldn't handle Pol Pot's absolutely disgusting forkball, giving them the much-needed win on the road here. Like, winning 10-3 against the Vanguards on their home turf. A hell of a show. Really, really impressive from the Reds. Let's move ahead. Guillotines at Gladiators, Castillo Arena. Really quick inning for the Gladiators in the 1st. Really good showing for them. Zapata bunting with no one on base. What's that about? In the 1st, right? The Gladiators aren't going to complain about that. Fawkes doing equally well, though, to take out the Gladiators batters too. Quite a lot of contact from both teams. Neither of them could make anything of it. So we'll jump ahead to the 4th inning here. Pancho Villa makes a very uncharacteristic mistake. He gets a nice base hit to right field, but then tries to steal second and gets caught out. Why are you doing that so early in the game? There's no need to. I think it's way too early in the game. But maybe it's the Guillotines dealing with some unexpected resistance here. Fawkes looking a little bit under pressure again. Still gets the strikeouts needed to end that inning. So, it's not end of days. There's a certain quality the Guillotines have that is just very special, though. Okay, like even when they make these sort of mistakes, even when Fawkes is under pressure, they really just grind teams down and wear them away like no other team in this league can do. And of course, they don't win every game, but they just don't get tired. Fawkes has more stamina, plays more innings, throws significantly more pitches than anyone in this league. Yet he comes out every single week looking so fresh, so strong. Late season, I could really see this team doing well. When other teams start to wear out, they will come into their own. They're already playing great ball, but this team gets better in the late innings and seems to stay just as strong every single week. They are so impressive. But it's the Gladiators that end up striking first in this one. Commodus gets a home run in the 7th, and that seemed to rattle Fawkes a little bit. Temporarily, he sends about a walk in the 1st. Kind of still gets away with it in the end. Diocletian ends up having a really nice 8th and 9th inning. The Guillotines don't really have anything to say for it. And the Gladiators win. This is a 1-0 win to the Gladiators, right? It's not one we expected to see, but really nice for them. Like, great showing, really good defensive performances from both sides, some odd decisions from the Guillotines at times, but I don't think that makes the difference here. I think the Gladiators were just good. Commodus' single home run puts them up on the board, and that's the end of the game. Let's move ahead then. NORDICS at Slammers. So the Slammers coming off their first win of the season. They'll certainly be hoping to keep that momentum going in front of their own fans here at the Big Blue. But it's another really bad start for the Thales. A walk, 2 hits, and a run in the 1st puts them under so much pressure. Straight away, it looks like we're back to the same old slammers. Butterfingers, Thales, slow infield plays, missing easy outs because of poor communication. Yeah, it's not good. Diogenes swinging at the first pitch, making it an easy out. Pythagoras swinging at nothing, making it an easy out. They're wasting good opportunities and not capitalizing on the few mistakes the Nordics are making. But in fairness to them, you know what? They pull out a few hits in the third, bat a run in, get a double steal. Nicomakis gets walked. Seneca gets a grand slam over center. Normandy makes a huge jump, but even he's not big enough to get that one. A horrible start turns into a great third inning that sees Fairhair taken out nice and early for Tryggvason. Even Socrates is like showboating at this point. Okay, they are full of life. He's coming out to the plate dancing, he's smiling. They're proving everyone wrong in this game, and they're having fun with it. That first inning looks absolutely horrible, but then by the third, this is a totally different team. Empedocles covers for Thales in the fifth. Thales actually had a really good game in the end here, but you know, he's thrown over 70 pitches by this point. I can see why they're going to take him out here. Empedocles has been a really solid relief choice as well this season for the Slammers, who have not been good overall. But he continues to be that, right? And you know, I'm never worried when Empedocles comes to the mound, right? He's much less volatile than Thales. He has a certain confidence that I really appreciate. Boneless tries to bring it back for the Nordics in the seventh with a home run single. Heraclitus replaces Empedocles, and then Hardrada gets a home run single to make it a 5-3 game in favor of the Slammers. I actually really like the Slammers didn't cave here, though. They still came out with the same confidence, the same swagger they had in the third, but Skallagrimson shows them the door very quickly. It's 3 up, 3 down in the seventh. We've got a ball game right now. This is when things start to get troubling. Eriksson gets another home run single for the Nordics to make it a 1-run game. The Nordics are big hitters, and they're getting the right balls at the right time, but the Slammers say, hey, who cares? Plato knocks one over the right wall. It looked as if Forkbeard had it, but it slips out of his mitt, and the 2-run homer gives the Slammers a comfortable lead going into the last inning. The performance that the Slammers put out here, you know, it was remarkable. I reckon it's the best we've seen them play. And to put up numbers like that in front of their home crowd, that's something really special. It wasn't just like one or two big players having big plays. It was the whole team coming together, making big plays, putting in the effort, putting in the work. So many players putting up numbers. They have found a certain magic, and they need to keep it going. The Slammers win 8-4 against the Nordics. Huge for them. All right. Flushers at Commanders at Founders Field. Can anyone beat the Commanders? Can they beat them? Top of the table clash with two very fast teams that like to play hard. You know, it's a really interesting matchup. And if the Commanders can win here, I think they can start to pull away in this league. They beat the Nordics. They beat the Guillotines in weeks where we expected both of those teams to do much better. But straight away, the Flushers are showing they're not worried. Elizabeth Tudor gets a 2-run homer in the first. Bonaparte comes out for his first pitches of the game. And while the Commanders get some contact, they get underneath the ball. They make it an easy 3 outs for the Flushers infield. Like, the Flushers were here to play. This is a tough place to come against such a strong team. But they're not scared at all. In the second, Jackson comes out strong again with a home run of his own. He's really on form. He's having a great time at the moment. The Commanders really start to settle in here. Got a few nice hits to tie up the game. This is the strength that they have, okay? They can get the big hits and the big plays, but they always capitalize on those singles and the doubles to get runners home. They have big stars, and they have team players. They're just a really, really well-balanced team. Reagan gets another home run in the fourth for the Commanders, but DeFrance says, whatever you can do, we can do better, and he gets one of his own in the fifth. Grant comes in for Bush fairly early in the fifth inning. I think maybe it was a little too early, but clearly they need to do something here because the Flushers are matching the Commanders at the moment. A fresh arm might just tip the balance. Teresa covers for Bonaparte in the sixth. Seems like a response to the Grant sub from the last inning. But you know what? She had a good game last week. She keeps the pressure high, plays a couple of good innings. Nothing to write home about, but you know what? Good, solid relieving that we want to see. Eisenhower forced in the 9th for the Commanders and does enough to keep it a tie game. Charlemagne comes in to try and secure extra innings for the Flushers, and you know what? That's exactly what he does. He needs both the Tudors to help him do it, but we go to the 10th. Elizabeth Tudor out in left field really kept the Flushers in this one. She was electric in the latter stages of this game. Really great game for her. She's putting up numbers. Lorworth comes in the 13th inning for the Flushers to try and end it. Roosevelt comes in the 14th for the Commanders, gets his first innings of the season, almost lets the Flushers have it with a long hit to left from E. Tudor, but it's caught just before the wall. And this is where it ends. Bottom of the 14th, Commanders get a 3-run homer, and the scoreline makes it look like it was easy. It took them 14 innings to do it. They win 6-3. Who can beat them? You can hold them for 19 innings. You can hold them for nearly 14 innings. And they're still going to go, yeah, but we're still going to beat you by 3 runs. Because we're just going to send it over the wall when we need to. And then we're going to win the game. I don't know who beats them. I really don't. Let's look at the table. Potomac Commanders, after 7 weeks, 6-1. They're unstoppable. Compass Crushers in second, 5-2. Royal Flushers also 5-2, down in third. Renaissance Runners have really climbed the table from the bottom just a couple of weeks ago. They're now 4-3 in fourth place. The Iron Warlords and the Guillotine Swingers in 5th and 6th, both on 4-3. Red Scares in 7th on 3 wins, 4 losses. The Imperial Gladiators and the Virtuous Vanguards in 8th and 9th on 3 wins, 4 losses. Nordic Nightmares in 10th. And the Socratic Slammers climbing up the table now with that win, putting them on 2 and 5 as well. And propping up the table, it's the Spark Syndicate. Yeah, that has been a horrible couple of weeks for them. They've really got to figure something out. All right, let's look at next week. We go into week 8. The Runners really coming together. They've got another Monday game. Okay, they're really coming together. They win away against the Crushers. I'm telling you now, they are going to win against the Crushers. Huge upset. The Reds, I think they beat the Warlords at home. I don't think Perron keeps his streak here. Guillotines, I think they beat the Syndicate. It's an easy pick. There's not much to say on that one. Vanguards beat the Nordics away, I reckon. Anthony's just a little bit too classy. She's a bit too classy. The Nordics just don't have what it takes right now. She's too classy. Flushers beat the Gladiators, I reckon. I think the Flushers are going to be too good at home. The Gladiators look so much better than they have, but I think the Flushers win. And the Commanders will beat the Socratics. Look, the Slammers have come such a long way in a couple of weeks. They're just not there yet. Like, if the Guillotines can't beat them, if the Flushers can't beat them, if the Slammers come out and beat the Commanders here, I don't even know, man. I don't even know what we do. You just can't predict anything in this league. This league just becomes wide open. But I don't think that's going to happen. Commanders will win. All right, okay, well, that's week 7 in the books. I will see you next week.